as we get slowly closer to Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 4 Aberdare Wales tournaments, I thought it'd be awesome to kind of go back and have a look through Season 3 and kind of fill you in on what kind of happened and, you know, just kind of share my experience with this season because, you know, it was just such an incredible amount of games that we played. There was just so many fun interactions, and you know, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really all about. And I'm just so excited to kind of just dive in and let's just talk about it. So, the first event that we had for Season 3 and kicked off in August. So, August started off strong. You know, I made a really good showing with my newest deck, or one of the newest decks, which was a combined version of Illusion and White Forest. And, you know, I thought that was incredible. At this point, Tom was running Trap Tricks and was winning at the event, which was amazing. You know, Jack did a really good showing with Dark Magicians, and RJ always loves to mix it up, you know, so he was playing Mimic Ghoul. And obviously Jaden had his Flame Swordsman deck and, you know, again, did a really good showing with that deck. Especially when we get to January. So, yeah, that was a really fun event. I love the White Forest line. I definitely need to get the rest of the support at some point, but I just love how it flows with some of the other illusion cards, you know, because like some of the spells, as if you control an illusion or a spellcaster. I just kind of need to work on the ratios a little bit and, you know, hopefully get that a bit more patterned down. But, you know, that's a deck that I just personally love. So then moving on, we actually then had our tag event, which was then in September, and basically myself and one of the Reeses, I played Yubel, and it was the first time kind of playing full powered because I managed to get Spirit of Yubel and everything, which was amazing. And you know, we also had you know, just a whole lot of fun in this tournament where basically we had Tom and Jack coming in second using Numeralia, as well as you know, Jack coming in with the Dark Magicians. You know, Jack really did a good showing there. And then Dan and Josh had what was called Frozen Extinction, which was basically a ice barrier alongside dinos. And then we had RJ and Sean with Judgment Day, which was kind of crazy. Sean, my handpicked champion, coming in clutch there with the season 1 and 2 winner. That was super fun. And then you had Chaffee and Luke, which was Heroic Treats, which was Nemorelia and Elemental Heroes. And then you also then just had, like, you know, Jaden shout out again using Flame Swordsman. And at this point, interestingly enough, I managed to get enough points to start the you know, winning the season, which was pretty impressive. I mean, I was shocked I came second with White Forest Illusion, but obviously with my Yubel deck, you know, it was great to see that make such an impressive showing. And you know, we pretty much, you know, because his cards love to pop, my cards love to pop, everything was popping off, and Yubel is just a fantastic deck to go with Fire Kings. It's a Duel Links classic. So that was absolutely amazing. Interestingly enough, we again went to October. This was an event that I was thinking, nah, there's no way. I was thinking of winning this event. Like, I was running Gem Knights. Pretty much, it was like, you know, as best of a Gem Knight deck I could get, and just filled it with as much, like, you know, floodgates, hand traps, just anything and everything to just kind of slow my opponent down, board breakers, and then just kind of swing in with just my big you know, beefy gem knights. And it shocked me that myself and Jack, again, Jack was right behind me. This time he was playing Red Dragon Archfiend instead of his Dark Magician deck. And then you had Josh and Tom. Again, Tom was actually making a really good showing. You know, fair play to him, because actually he was doing really well in the tournaments. And, you know, my brother came to this event, and there's my handpicked champion, Sean, you know, using his penguins. You know, it was so fun actually doing this design for the tournament, because this time around, you know, we managed to use, you know, double ninjas, you know, Ninja Penguin, as well as Priestess Sizo, which was awesome. And then there's Jaden, where, you know, he's there in 4th place, but this time using his Gate Guardian deck. And then there's the other Reese, you know, Battle of the Reeses, and, you know, he was using, again, his Fire King deck. So, actually did, for the first time ever, our Speed Duel tournament. So, Speed Duels was actually really good. This was a lot of fun, where basically, I was using kind of like a Merrick beatdown, using Merrick's skill, which is limited, and, you know, rightfully so, it's a really powerful one. And, you know, RJ was using, like, his XYZ Dragon Cannon and things like that machines. And then, you know, you had Reese D using, I believe he was using the Amazonas or the Volcanics. And then Tal was using, Tal was using Amazonas and Reese D was using Volcanics. And then Sean was using Ancient Gears. And then Dan was using Amazonas. So it was a fun little matchup there for those guys. Jack, you know, he got the raffle this time around, but was using Cyber Dragons. And yeah, this was a really, really pivotal tournament, I think, because this was, you know, we were pretty much at the close, and it was at this point I realized it didn't matter what points I got, I was actually going to win the season. I was going to win Season 3, which still blows my mind, if I'm being completely honest. I was not expecting to win Season 3 at all, because, you know, I was expecting, you know, RJ, you know, I mean, I brought, you know, White Forest and, you know, Illusion and then Yubal, which granted was really good, but, you know, RJ's like, in all respects, like, RJ is a better duelist than me. He knows a lot more combo lines, he knows just more about, like, how interactions work. You know, I'm more of kind of like things like this event, like Speed Duels and things, like the classics, you know, if you're talking Go Edison format, like, that is my wheelhouse, like, that's 100%, like, and if you look at the other seasons, you'll notice that that is 100%, like, I'm in pretty much the top spots, because that's, like, in my wheelhouse. But if you're talking modern, RJ definitely has an upper hand compared to me, because, you know, he just knows way more about the game and how the game works, and just how, you know, the game can be so complex. And I always rely on RJ for judge rulings. You know, I make my own as well, but RJ mostly does a lot of the judge calls, because, you know, he just knows so much more about the interactions than I do. But yeah, it was absolutely crazy thinking, like, at this point, I was going to end up winning, you know, the season, which here it was. Basically, it was, you know, I mean, overall, I actually came 3rd place, which didn't necessarily matter. I pretty much used my Go format deck in what I did before, but I decided to throw in Exodia for one last time, you know, to give myself a bit of a break, you know, from Exodia, and I thought, well, what better way of using Exodia is, you know, I'm going to throw him in the final, you know, tournament of the year. And, you know, basically RJ, I put Shiny Go deck because flip me, thanks to the Bonanza, baby, he was able to get a whole lot of amazing reprints. Josh basically actually came 2nd, which was surprising of all things. But, you know, Josh is, you know, he's pretty decent duelist. You can't really sleep on Josh, because out of nowhere he could get a combo line and win. There's Jaden and Jack. Basically, they tied for 4th. Basically, it was a Dark Magician deck for Jack once again, but on a more GOAT traditional format. Meanwhile, Jaden's was an Exodia Stall deck, which, funny enough, I loved the games that I had with, you know, with Jaden, because basically, even though he used Gravity Bind, I had the Dragon Slayer himself, White Magical Hat, which ripped Exodia pieces out of his hand, while meanwhile slowly getting pieces for myself. And then using cards like Penguin Soldier, absolutely hilarious. You know, I absolutely love basically using cards like that. Just funny little combos that you can do. Stall your opponent out, flip monsters back to the hand, use White Magical Hat to kind of then be able to attack directly, clean as a whistle. And it was amazing. And yeah, I just can't believe that I actually came first place. And that just blows my mind. But basically, even though this tournament didn't count towards like any points or the season, I thought it'd be really cool to kind of show this final good old January, which literally happened a few days ago now. And yeah, it was crazy to basically see this tournament unfold. As you can see, I'm in 4th place. I was using pretty much a Cyber Dragon deck. I didn't go full kind of like hand traps or anything because I just wanted to see as much Cyber Dragon as I possibly could. I did brick a few times on some spells, but you know, overall I was really impressed with the deck. There was some cheeky little combos that I was able to pull off. You know, but there was just a few games that I couldn't quite put away. But as you can see, interestingly enough, Jaden, you know, and this is the main reason why I kind of put this here, my boy came in 1st place using Flame Swordsman, but if you can notice it on the design, he is also using Tenpai. Basically, you know, his Flame Swordsman's already a nasty monster, but on top of that, you know, combining it with Tenpai was just absolutely, you know, bonkers. RJ was actually practicing with his Blue Eyes, you know, deck with the Primite support before the structure deck comes out, because obviously the structure deck is right around the corner, and basically RJ wanted to, you know, pretty much just deck test, you know, before all the support comes, to see kind of like how it works, how it looks, you know, how it feels. Maybe there'll be some adjustments to be made, you know, but pretty much like this is going to be the year of Blue Eyes for RJ. Like pretty much this is just what he's going to be running, and this will be his wheelhouse. And meanwhile, we also had like not 1 but 3 Red Dragon Archfiend players, which, you know, I thought was absolutely just cracked. You know, it's just insane. But fair play. Also, there's Dan in 2nd place, you know, using a water deck, which was really cool. And that Kraken, I'll admit, like, it was cool to see how happy Dan was actually beating me, because in most of the tournaments, you know, maybe he's won like you know, like a point or something, but, you know, or won a game, but not necessarily the match. This was pretty much like the first time, but fair play. I have absolute respect for Dan. You know, he's a good guy, and, you know, if I'm going to lose to someone, you know, it's going to be Dan. You know, fair play also to Sean. Sean came in 3rd place. You know, and he's running this Penguin deck. You know, it has 1 Mulchi card in it, but like fair play, it's like his, you know, that's like his home, and he knows that, like, how to play that deck. Like that is like his deck, if that makes sense. That is, you know, just 100%. He knows all the combo lines. He knows what he's gonna play. You know, how to play it, and you know, it's just awesome. You know, and yeah. It was just overall just an amazing tournament, and I just had so much fun. And I literally can't wait for season 4. Season 4 is going to be absolutely insane, and I'm just super excited about it. So yeah, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed kind of like this different style of video where basically I kind of discuss and talk about, you know, what happened at the tournament. And yeah, I'm just super excited to, you know, do a trailer for season 4, you know, show kind of like what we're going to be doing this time around, because one thing that you've probably noticed in season 3, which was definitely something I've sat down, you know, with RJ with and just kind of discussed and gone through, that basically season 3 out of all of the seasons had the most different events going on. So for example, we had 2 tag events. One was a regular, one was a GOAT format one, and then we also had, or what was going to be, but basically people, some people were working, some people went WoW. There was a lot of, there still is a lot of bugs going around, but at that point, it was pretty much like peak illness. Christmas was also just right there, and yeah, it was just pretty, it was, it was fair enough that, like, that not everybody could make it, but that's what was going to be. We also had like a speed duel event, so I can realize, that for some people, they just want to play their decks. They don't necessarily want to play maybe like a Time Wizard format or something like that. So Season 4 is actually going to look very different to Season 3. And, I'm really hoping that people enjoy kind of this one more. I'm excited for what I'm going to be doing, and there's going to be a lot more about that in the Season 4 trailer itself. And, because I've been prepping it for practically months, since probably the September tournament, I would say. I was like, you know what? I'm really, like, looking into this idea, and we're gonna go for it, and now we're finally here, and I can't wait to unveil and basically just go through it all. And yeah, I'm just super excited. So my closing thoughts of Season 3 was, it was just an absolute blast. I'm still like gobsmacked that I even won the thing, because as much as like obviously there's winners and there's sadly losers, and I kind of like, as long as like I do okay, I feel like content, like, but at the same time I can recognize that I myself can be a little bit competitive, because it's like, well, you also want to win, if that makes sense. So I know, like, when I was at the most recent tournament, I was like, oh man, Cyber Dragon's not doing it for me. It's not quite, putting away games. But the thing is like, you learn from those things, you learn from those mistakes. And I fully realize in Season 4 I'm probably gonna come last. Like, I will be shocked if by the end of Season 4 I am, if I am not last, like, I'm gonna be down there somewhere, because basically, yeah, it's gonna be quite the difference. It's gonna be quite the change. So for me, it's gonna be definitely a learning experience. But that's what Yu-Gi-Oh is all about. Like, for me, it's it's not about getting the best decks and always winning all the time. It's about learning, playing different cards and different strategies, and kind of picking up something different, and trying it against the meta. Like, I remember last year when I went to Firestorm, I brought Adamantipator with like hand traps and stuff, and it was surprisingly doing okay in the meta. And things, it could actually hold its weight a little bit. So for me, those were kind of like wins in that regard. And it goes to show that, like, even a deck kind of slightly out of the era, if that makes sense, some of them were rogue at best, some of them, like Gem Knights, no offense, as much as I love my Gem Knights, it's not gonna really go anywhere. But, even with maybe it's new support, maybe, who knows, but, I'm not exactly like, I'm sure someone will come up with some crazy strategy and just make it, a deck work, but, that's what always happens. But, yeah, I definitely think that, it's going to be an interesting experience, Season 4, for me, and, I'm just really excited to just kind of learn and to grow and just really study the game more, because like I said, RJ knows a whole lot more than I do, and this is like going to be an interesting kind of flex on my own knowledge to try and like build decks and combo lines with whatever I'm going to be able to get my hands on, and going forward. So yeah, That's pretty much it, I would say, for my closing thoughts. You know, let me know what you guys think of this kind of style of video, you know, going through kind of like the experience, and, you know, look forward to Season 4's trailer. It's going to be absolutely wild. So, you know, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to just dive in. We've already started voting. It's, you know, our 2 dates basically are, if I grab a calendar, it's either going to be the 15th or the 22nd. Hopefully we'll see which one we can kind of book, because, yeah, February is such a short month that basically there's only 4, you know, there's only 4 Saturdays available, and literally one of them is coming up this week. So the 8th was also just too far away, and literally the 22nd is the last one, and then boom, we're on the 1st. So it's a very short month, but, you know, it kind of like makes things more exciting that way, because, you know, we're only going to be, you know, so like, for example, if we choose the 15th, we're only going to be like effectively 2 weeks away, which is absolutely insane. But at the same time, if we choose the 22nd, we'll be about 3 weeks away. But, you know, that's not even, that's going to fly by. So, you know, I'm really going to have to, you know, essentially, get everything in order. I've already got some stuff, set up, ready to go. So, you know, look forward to seeing that in Season 4. Because I'm going to be showing off one of the new changes that's going to be happening there. So look forward to that. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content like this one. And as always, party on, peeps. Take care, guys. It was great to see you, and we'll see you again in the next video. Bye!